Hello everyone, welcome to our lesson, which is in English grade 11. It was created by teachers of English group from Lý Tự Trọng High School. Thân chào các em, chào mừng các em đến với bài học ngày hôm nay của chúng ta. Bài học có nội dung tiếng Anh lớp 11 và được biên soạn bởi các thầy cô của tổ ngoại ngữ trường Trung học phổ thông Lý Tự Trọng. Today we are going to continue Unit 11 Sources of Energy and the lesson in Language Focus. In this lesson, there are two parts. The first is pronunciation and the second is grammar. In the part pronunciation, we will study three sounds. 1. Sh. 2. Spl. 3. Spr. And in the part grammar, we will study three grammar points. Relative clauses replaced by 1. Verb in, 2. Verb participle, and 3. To infinity. Now, let's come to the first part, pronunciation. In this part, let's practice pronouncing the three sounds sh, spr, and spl. Now,
Shred.
It's time for you to listen and repeat after
Shrill.
the recording and practice the three sounds
Shrimp.
sh, spl, and spr.
Shrine. Splash. Split. Spleen. Splutter. Spring. Spray. Spread. Sprightly.
Now, listen again and practice pronouncing these words one more time.
Practice reading
Another
out loud
practice for
these
you.
sentences. 1. They were all shrieking with laughter. 2. He shrugged his shoulders, saying he didn't know and didn't care. 3. My dad hates shrimp pastes. 4. What a splendid spring day. 5. The stream splits into 3 smaller streams at this point. 6. The house has a narrow front, but it splays out at the back.
Now, I have a small activity for you before we finish the part pronunciation. I will speak some words. Listen and recognize the sounds you have learned. And if the word includes the sound scr, you say 1. Spl, you say 2. And spr, you say 3. Now, let's start.
Spring.
Spring. 3.
Split.
Split. 2.
Shrimp. Shrimp.
Shrimp. Number 1.
Splash. Splash.
Splash. 2.
Spread. Spread.
Spread.
Spring.
3.
Split.
Congratulations to the student who
Shrimp.
have all 5 correct answers.
Splash. Spread.
This is the second part of the lesson, grammar. In this part, I want you to listen and take note carefully in your notebook because it is very important. As I have told you at the beginning, there are 3 points of grammar we have to study today. And it is the first, relative clauses replaced by present participle. Mệnh đề quan hệ được thay thế bằng hiện tại phân từ. Look at the example. The man is my brother. He spoke to John. We can use relative clause to combine the 2 sentences. And the answer is, the man who spoke to John is my brother. And you see that who spoke to John is relative clause, which is in active voice. So we have another answer would have the same meaning is, the man speaking to John is my brother. Remember, we omit who and after that we put the verb spoke to verb in. It is speaking. Các em hãy nhìn vào ví dụ. The man is my brother. He spoke to John. Và chúng ta có thể sử dụng mệnh đề quan hệ để nối 2 câu này lại. Và chúng ta có câu trả lời là the man who spoke to John is my brother. Ở đây, who spoke to John là mệnh đề quan hệ mang nghĩa chủ động. Vì thế, chúng ta có một câu trả lời mới, đó là the man speaking to John is my brother. Cách thức là gì? Cách thức là chúng ta sẽ bỏ đại từ quan hệ who và sau đó chúng ta đưa động từ spoke về dạng động từ nguyên mẫu và thêm in vào, đó là speaking. Remember number 1, we can replace a relative clause in active voice with a present participle phrase. Chúng ta có thể thay thế một mệnh đề quan hệ mang nghĩa chủ động bằng một cụm hiện tại phân từ bằng cách chúng ta sẽ bỏ đại từ quan hệ who, which, that. Sau đó, chúng ta đưa động từ chính của mệnh đề quan hệ về dạng verb in. Now, let's come to exercise 1 to check whether you understand or not. Please open your textbook on page 131. Rewrite the following sentences using a present participle phrase. You have about 1 minute to do the test. Time's up. Let's check the answer. 1. The boy playing the piano is Ben. 2. Do you know the woman coming toward us? 3. The people waiting for the bus in the rain are getting wet. 4. The scientists researching the causes of cancer are making progress. 5. The fence surrounding our house is made of wood. 6. We have an apartment overlooking the park. The exercise is very easy, isn't it? Let's come to the second grammatical point. Relative clauses replaced by past participle. Mệnh đề quan hệ được thay thế bằng quá khứ phân từ. Look at the example. The house is very nice. It was built in 2000. We can use relative clause to combine the 2 sentences. The answer is, the house which was built in 2000 is very nice. Which was built in 2000 is relative clause in passive voice, and we have another answer which have the same meaning. It is, the house built in 2000 is very nice. We omit which and was, just remain the verb built. Built is past participle. Các em hãy nhìn vào ví dụ. The house is very nice. It was built in 2000. chúng ta có thể sử dụng mệnh đề quan hệ để nối hai câu này lại. Và chúng ta có câu trả lời là The house which was built in 2000 is very nice. Which was built in 2000 là mệnh đề quan hệ mang nghĩa bị động. Như vậy, chúng ta bỏ which, bỏ was, chỉ giữ lại động từ built. Built chính là quá khứ phân từ. Khi đó chúng ta sẽ có câu mới, đó là The house built in 2000 is very nice. Remember, too, we can replace a relative clause in passive voice with a past participle phrase. Chúng ta có thể thay thế mệnh đề quan hệ mang nghĩa bị động bằng một cụm quá khứ phân từ. Khi đó chúng ta sẽ bỏ đại từ quan hệ who, which, that, chỉ giữ lại động từ ở dạng quá khứ phân từ. Now, let's do exercise number 2 in your textbook on page 132. Rewrite the following sentences using a past participle phrase. You have 6 sentences and 1 minute for you to do it. Are you ready? Now, let's check the answer. 1. The ideas presented in that book are interesting. I come from a city located in the southern part of the country. 3. They live in a house built in 1890. 4. The photographs published in the newspaper were extraordinary. 5. The experiments conducted at the University of Chicago were successful. 6. They work in a hospital sponsored by the government. Congratulations to the students who have 6 correct answers. Let's review the third grammatical point, relative clauses replaced by to infinities. Mệnh đề quan hệ được thay thế bằng động từ nguyên mẫu có to. Look at the first example. Yuri Gagarin was the first man who flew into space. You can see that who flew is relative clause in active voice, and you have the word first. The answer is Yuri Gagarin was the first man to fly into space. The second example. This is the last cake that is sold today. That is sold is relative clause in passive voice, and we have the word last. And the answer is that is the last cake to be sold today. Các em nhìn vào ví dụ thứ nhất. Yuri Gagarin was the first man who flew into space. Who flew là mệnh đề quan hệ mang nghĩa chủ động và có từ first. Như vậy thì chúng ta sẽ đưa động từ trong mệnh đề quan hệ về dạng to infinity. Đối với câu ví dụ thứ hai, that is the last cake that is sold today. That is sold là mệnh đề quan hệ mang nghĩa bị động và chúng ta có từ last. Như vậy thì động từ trong mệnh đề quan hệ chúng ta sẽ đưa về to be cộng verb pp. Remember 3. We can replace a relative clause following the first, the second, the last, the only, or superlatives, the biggest, the happiest with an infinitive phrase. Chúng ta có thể thay thế mệnh đề quan hệ theo sau the first, the second, the last, the only hoặc là so sánh nhất, the biggest, the happiest bằng một cụm động từ nguyên mẫu. Trường hợp thứ nhất, nếu như nó mang nghĩa chủ động thì chúng ta sẽ loại bỏ đại từ quan hệ who, which hoặc that và đưa động từ trong mệnh đề quan hệ về dạng to infinity. Trong trường hợp mang nghĩa bị động, chúng ta loại bỏ đại từ quan hệ who, which, that, sau đó đưa động từ trong mệnh đề quan hệ về dạng to be cộng verb ed hoặc past participle. Now, I want you to open your textbook on page 132 and do exercise 3. Rewrite the sentences using an infinitive phrase. You have 5 sentences and about 2 minutes to do it. Have you got the answer? Now, let's check together. 1. John was the last man to reach the top of the mountain. 2. The last person to leave the room must turn off the light. 3. The first person for us to see is Mr. Smith. 4. This is the second person to be killed in that way. 5. The first person to catch the ball will be the winner. And now I want to give you one more exercise to help you to understand more about the theory you have learned. Exercise 4. Choose the best answer. You have about 3 minutes to do this exercise. Have you got the answer? Let's check together. 1. Lady Esther was the first woman to take her seat in Parliament. Chúng ta có từ the first. 2. Pioneers living in isolated areas of United States were almost totally self-sufficient. Những nhà tiên phong mà những người đó sống ở những khu tách biệt của đất nước Mỹ thì hầu như là tự lập tự túc. Ở đây nó mang nghĩa chủ động. Florida, known as the Sunshine State, attracts many tourists every year. Được biết đến, nó mang nghĩa bị động. 4. Coal was the first fuel to be used to power machinery. Ở đây chúng ta có từ the first và mang nghĩa bị động. 5. The guest on our show is the youngest golfer to win the Open. Ở đây chúng ta có tính từ so sánh nhất là the youngest. 6. The boy injured in the accident was taken to the hospital. Bị thương và mang nghĩa bị động. 7. The captain was the last to leave the sinking ship. Chúng ta có từ the last và mang nghĩa chủ động. 8. The food sold in the supermarket is very good. Được bán và nó mang nghĩa bị động. 9. Melanie was the only person to write a letter of thanks. Chúng ta có từ the only. 10. I live in the pleasant room overlooking the garden. Overlooking mang nghĩa hướng về phía, nhìn về phía và nó mang nghĩa chủ động. That's the end of the lesson. Here is your homework. Practice pronunciation. Practice speaking the 3 sounds you have learned. Review the note of grammar and try to learn by heart. Do all the exercises 1, 2, and 3 in your notebook. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye and see you again.